Mining rocks in scrap mechanic is hard. So what if I told you there's a better, faster and cheaper way to mine rocks? Yeah, it's gonna be one of those videos. But before we break mining in this game, we first need to understand why mining vehicles suck. And first I need to build one because I didn't prepare this. Well, luckily I still have my old mining vehicle in my survival world. So first of all, rocks are always on a hill, which is really difficult terrain for a vehicle, because now it gets really annoying to get these drills in the right spot. And like your car constantly keeps drifting away from the rocks. Whatever you've mined glitches under your car, making it just a real pain to mine rocks. Of course you can build amazing mining vehicles, though it's really difficult and you're gonna have to grind a lot of component kits. Instead, all we are gonna need is just a drill, some bearings, and a couple of blocks. So first we're gonna need to build a long pole out of our blocks. Then we place a bearing right here at the top, place another pole down of blocks. Then on the one side we put another bearing where we're gonna put our drill bit. Now this wing falls over onto the rocks, just like this, and we are right on the rock. Now we just need to keep hammering our drill and we are slowly mining this entire rock. Well, and sometimes you need to replace the rod because it was a little bit too long. Damn, and now I can keep mining the other rock. But don't worry, this is not the best technique yet to mine rocks. However, this is one of the easiest and cheapest methods to start mining. So instead of starting by building a mining vehicle, I would just start mining rocks this way. Now, I wouldn't have said I kind of broke mining in this game if I hadn't found a much better technique. The pole thing is great to target individual stone chunks, but you'll have to rebuild it quite often to get all the stone chunks, and that gets kinda annoying. Yeah, also this happens, where the whole thing just flips. To make this a lot more effective, we just need to rethink our approach. Instead of mining vertically, we can just mine horizontally. So if I put a bearing on top and then make this long pole that goes around, I can use my drill to cover a lot more angle, and like mining room for that matter. I just need to punch it around until I hit a rock, and now I can just keep spinning, and the first rock starts disappearing, and I don't need to rebuild my entire thing, I'll just swing it back, and we're gonna get the next rocks. And yeah, you'll start seeing it's a little bit difficult to keep this thing spinning if you keep punching it. It requires a little bit of practice, but you see how damn effective this is. Like, without having to rebuild my pole, I keep mining a lot of rocks at the same time. And if our pole is too short, we can just do a simple trick. Just extend the thing, place another bearing, and boom. This is so much more effective than doing it the other way around. But this is still not the best way I found to mine rocks. Since everything is just powered by bearings, we can just power the bearings. And for this I'm even gonna use a scrap gas engine, because we don't really need a lot of power. Then we just connect our two bearings, put some fuel in here. And as I'm gonna turn on the engine, which is really cheap to craft by the way, I realize that my pole is a little too long. But we can just easily move the drill bit around and then keep going again. And now we're automatically mining some rocks. Yeah, and you can just watch the thing destroy the entire rock for you. It's so amazing. But you'll often end up in scenarios like this where you need to move the drill bit around a lot. Once you have more resources, you can just afford a gas engine which can hold more connections, which means you can carry some extra drills. Then you can cover a much longer area. And I just need to connect everything, put some gas in the engine. Right, now watch and see what happens if I turn on the engine. The whole thing is gonna start mining the entire rock for me. Might start off a little slow, but this is so effective and simple to do. Like, you can just lay back and watch the whole thing mine everything for you. In the meantime, for example, I could just raid this ruin, get some component kits. Right, I think I was just gonna say I was gonna prepare a time-lapse for you, but these hay bots need a little bit of potatoes. Let's see what I told you. Oh my god, I have to turn off the engine. It only consumed 2 fuel, and we almost mined the entire rock. Like, this is so broken compared to building a mining vehicle. And like, it's also so cheap, because I don't need a whole driver's seat, I don't need a lot of suspension, I don't even need wheels. Well, but even this is not exactly it. I found another way to mine rocks with this that kinda works, but also not. I mean, of course, you would need to clean up all of these remaining rocks, but that's a lot easier than having your one car always driving up to this hill and trying to mine the rest. Like, it is so much better. Like, I would never build mining vehicles anymore. So to actually show you that this technique is more effective, I'm gonna mine this rock formation using both techniques. So once with my mining vehicle and the 360 drill technique. Well, this is sure gonna end up being a lot of fun for me. Like, all of these little rocks that end up being on the ground really are an issue. And I even flipped my car. Well, it's been 10 minutes now. I didn't mine all of it, cause it's so annoying to get up this hill. You can see there's still a few pieces of rock left, and it started getting so laggy with all of this clutter around. I really did not want to keep mining anymore. So let's see how far I can go in 10 minutes with my mining technique. Of course, I also factor the setup time into account. Alright, so I'm 1 minute in, and yep, the thing is already starting to mine a bunch of rocks. Like, that is so satisfying. Like, dude! Okay, now there's a few chunks that are probably gonna fall down or so. Nope, they don't. Dude, I am surprised myself how damn effective this is. And since this is in a good position, I can just make the pole longer, add more drills, and start the whole thing again. This is so satisfying, man. Okay, now I can also really feel the lag with this. Okay, maybe I'm going a little bit too long with my pole right now, but it's still moving. And yeah, it's also getting really laggy, but you can see we are in a similar position to traditional mining, and it's only been 420. Nice. But yeah, we also used less fuel as a nice bonus. Oh, we can also let this run on physics 1. I didn't even expect this. Wow. Like, you've seen, it was way too laggy for my mining car, but I can just mine on physics 1. So much smoother. Alright, but I still got one more technique to show you. So we're only gonna need a bunch more bearings for the next technique. I'm just trying to find some rocks, but I do really like this last technique because it's such a scrap mechanic style of mining rocks. Well, I didn't think it would be that hard trying to find rocks. Yeah, I think those should do. So we're gonna start like usual. Just place down a pole like usual. Then we need a bunch of bearings that we're gonna stack like this. And yeah, I think you can already know what I'm going for. Then we need a gas engine level 5, so this is a little bit more advanced. Connect all the bearings. Don't forget to put some fuel in the engine, and we're only gonna need one drill bit at the end of it all. And then we can just turn on the engine, and it starts slowly. But if I keep turning this up to the maximum... Oh, it starts to happen. Yeah. I think you can see what I'm going for. A bunch of bearings stacked onto each other start to... Well, this stuff happens, but because the drill is spinning so fast, it's glitching through all of the rocks, and you can see what starts to happen. Like, it already destroyed one rock. Now you can just keep this running in the background, and I think I did a mistake. We need like one bearing on here, so it can also rotate this way. Alright, so I now added this extra bearing, and you'll see it's gonna be a little bit better. In that it glitches around a lot more. Now, this is not a very, I'm basically mining everything in the area. It's not very targeted, and it takes a while, but it's kind of easy to set up, and I don't need to do anything. I can just keep this running in the background, do something else in the meanwhile, come back in a couple minutes, and most of these rocks will be mined. Like, it is so ridiculous. But this is so much better than building cars, because this is how scrap mechanic works. Oh, you're gonna have to be on advanced physics for this though, because if I go on simple 1, it doesn't glitch out nearly as much. Yeah, I've just let this thing running for like a few minutes. Oh, one thing that tends to happen with this a lot, we need a lot of fuel for this. Like, a lot, but as soon as you've got oil, which you probably should have if you can afford the gas engine level 5, it's not really a problem. You could also just connect a fuel container, and you see like two swoops of gas is enough to mine all of these rocks. And this takes like a minute to set up. Like, you could like, take off this arm, weld it on your car, and then it's even easier to set up. So after I found this glitch, my only mining vehicles will just be to clean up these rocks that get yeeted around the thing quite a lot. But yeah, leave a like if this helped.